Hi guys, sorry I haven't been with you for a long while with the blacksmithing, but here we go with a little project today. Scroll former. I know they all might look pretty similar, but they're all very different. There's some tight ones, some loose ones. They've all been made for specific jobs over the years. I've got dozens of them kicking about. These little tiddly ones for going in the anvil, that one there for actually making C scrolls because you make them nice and tight. Apart from the fact they're all different, they all do share one similarity. And that's basically the design, how they're made. Basically, to form a bit of metal around these things, you have to start from the middle here, which is why it's raised. If you think about it, if you try to put a piece of bar around, you don't start from the outside, you start from the inside. Well, if you did that, you couldn't, if it wasn't raised, you couldn't get your bar onto it because this outside bar would get in the way. Which is why this bit needs to be raised. So it's a classic design. You start in the middle, actually you start from this way around, you put your bar around, start in the middle, turn it round, and as you get past this edge you can then drop the bar down and continue on the rest of the former. So we're going to have a go at making something simple. Lit the fire, got her going. I'm going to start with this bit of inch 3/8. It's nothing special. It's just common inch by 3/8, and I've got it about, I don't know, 2 foot 6 long, just so it's easy to hold. This is going to be a good forging lesson because we're going to be narrowing it into that direction and widening it in the other direction. So it's thinning here and bringing it up here. All the time we're going to try and keep the base level. It doesn't have to come too far back. So we'll shove her in the fire, start beating some iron. We'll start with this 4 pound, it's about 4 pound club hammer, get the worst of it done. Got it nice and hot, in fact got it a bit too hot, never mind. Give it some beans. So it's flaring out in both directions. We want to keep it in one direction, so simple as that, just flatten it down one side. Doesn't have to be particularly accurate to start with, just want to get the meat out. So it's starting to flare a little bit more. But it's going down one side, you can see the hammer blows, it's pretty rough, but that doesn't matter. Done the worst of it, so I'm going to change my hammer. Go back to my pound, pound and a half, 2 pounds, something like that. Ball peen. I love that hammer. Use it for all sorts. Flatten it off again so that the base is flat. Carry on drawing it out a bit more. And this will take a lot of those initial hammer blows out, or hammer marks out. You can just see along the top edge where I'm hitting along the top. See now the bottom's still quite flat now. But now what I was going to say was across the top there where I'm hitting it to keep the base level, it's actually got quite a few marks in it. So I'm going to swap the hammers again. You don't have to, I'm just being fussy, but this one is my shoemaking hammer, or a shoemaking hammer, which has got a very shallow rounded face. and I'm just going to use that in the top here where that ball peen had just put a few hammer marks, just taking them out with that slightly rounded hammer. This hammer's about the same sort of weight as the other one, maybe a little bit heavier, 2.5 pound maybe. Again, just keep that base level. You can see there, keep it still. Quite nice slope across the top, and I'm just going to level off that end. Just try and tidy it up a bit. There's a couple of ways of doing this. One is to stand it on the anvil and just hit the top. Simple as that. The other way is to just hang it over the edge of the anvil, just knock it back into itself. Doesn't matter which way you do, whichever you prefer. Just keep it level. When you get towards this finishing stages, that's when you really need to get your hammer blows right. Take your time. Just make sure all your hammer blows go in the right place. And that's about what we want. It's sort of half a fishtail really. It's a fishtail which has been not allowed to spread both ways. You can see how I think tapered it is. Quite a nice even taper. And got rid of those hammer blows in the top there with the round hammer. As I say, it doesn't matter, it's just I'm being a bit fussy. I like, well, I suppose I've got the tools and I can do it, so I just do it. It's not essential. So now the easy bit's been done, I'll swap hammers again, go back to my favourite, which has started leaking oil. I've been oiling this one instead of sticking it in water, because I put a new handle on it because the last one broke from being in water for too long. And the oil, as the hammer gets hot, the oil leaks back out, so I just tidy that up a bit. See, it's splashed all over the anvil. So anyway, what we're going to do now is start rolling it up. Doesn't matter which way you go, whether it's left-handed or right-handed. It's all preference. You can have it either way. I'm going to just do it this way. This bit of the anvil's got a nice, about 6 inches of rounded end, or rounded edge, should I say here. I think most anvils do. Just knock it over. Take your time, because you don't want any flats in it. If you get any flats in this, you'll never get them out. So take your time. Doesn't matter how many heats you have, just go steady. This wants to be quite tight at the beginning, because what you've got to realise is this, it might look odd when you make it, and generally these are made to a pattern because you're making them for a specific job. So you've got the scroll, there you go, so there's no flats in that, just start to curl up, and then we're going to work over the beak. But yeah, you'd be given a design perhaps on paper with the sizes of scrolls you want, so you'd sketch that out on your bench and then make a former that would fit inside that scroll. Just cool the end off here, because I don't want to damage the bit I've started. And carry on over the beak. So this is actually quite difficult for me because I'm not making it to a pattern, so I'm just making it by eye. It is slightly easier if you've got something drawn that you can keep trying it up against. Give it a tweak here and a tweak there, but because I'm just making it for the hell of it, just to show you how it works, I'm just rolling it up by eye. But they often do look peculiar because they are like the inside of the scroll. You don't need to get too much hot at once, because if you do, as you start folding it, it's going to bend in places you don't want it to bend, so don't get too much of a long heat. Again, work it around the anvil, whichever way suits you. I like to do both pulling and pushing. See, that's starting to come up quite nice. And again, there's no flats in it. They are the bane of your life. If you get a flat in it, you might as well start again. Right, carry on a bit more, just tickle it about. As I say, I can't stress enough to take your time. Keep it level, keep the bottom level, which was what you spent the time for in the beginning, keeping it level. You can see now how much that's sticking out and how you can start your scroll quite happily. Make it a little bit bigger. So I'm not really sure what I'm doing with it, but I'm just going to coil it up a little bit more. And then we'll have a look. Again, not too much hot at once. Gentle blows. Keep looking at it. Pull it, push it, whichever floats your boat. It's coming. Getting there. I'll no doubt use this. It's somewhere in between sizes of ones I've already got, but might even be the same as some I've already got. I don't know. But I've got so many kicking about. You make one for a job and then sling it under the bench once the job's done. Well, that's about it really. I think we're going to call it a day there. See how it sticks up. Okay, you can start your scroll. So we're going to cool this out and stick it in the vise. I usually use mine in the vise if I can. And we'll see if we can make something up just to try on it. Right, we've got it mounted in the vise. Now I've run out of little bits of flat to try, so I'm just going to use this bit of, you see it, 10mm round. There's no reason why you can't use round, just quite happily use it. So I'm going to flatten the end just as a start, and then use these tongs just to hold it while we give it a start and pull it round. Once you've started, you won't need your tongs. It's just that initial pull round. And to help us along as well, you might need one of these, the F tool. I don't know if there's a proper name for it, but I call them an F tool. You can use this in several different ways, just to stop the scroll from coming away from the former. Right, so I've flattened the end out of this bit of bar, this bit of round, and put a slight curve in it, as you can see there. And that's just to help me grip it onto the former. So that's going to go on there. I'm going to grip it with my tongs and start pulling, and that will give me a nice, good start. So onto the former, grip it with my tongs, give it a pull. Just pull it to where it's hot. Don't pull any further, otherwise you'll get flats in it. See, that's come around quite nicely. So then you just heat it a bit further up. Again, don't get too much hot at once. See, now you won't need the tongs. But don't get too much hot at once, because again you'll get a flat. It'll pull away from the former. This is where you need the F tool to hold it there. Because if you don't, and you carry on pulling, this bit here will come away from the former and you'll get a nasty bulge. And it looks rubbish. So then a bit further along, it's getting a bit warm now, so I've got my hollow bits just to hold it, because I can't hold on to it with my hand. Pull it around, and then you can use the former And the other way, the F tool, you can use it to pull the scroll to the former for the last little bit. You can pull it up tight. And that's about it. Simple as that. It's nothing special, nothing fancy, but that's how you do it. It's the basic principles. As I say, you can make them tighter, narrower, do whatever you like, whatever the job requires. It's limited to your imagination or whatever the drawing defines. Nice and level. And that's about it. I hope that's helped somebody, given them an idea. I might catch you on the next one.